Well, at least it was better than the Dark World. Today on Readus Reviews, I review Thor Ragnarok, the fifth film in Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the third one to come out this year. But is it good though? So following up and acting on the events that happened in Thor the Dark World, Thor and Loki are introduced to Hela. She has her eyes set on Asgard while Thor and Loki crash land on a planet ran by the Grandmaster, where it just so happens that Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, is also there. And so the three of them, along with one of the last surviving members of Odin's Valkyries, have to go back to Asgard in order to save everyone there. Now, I'm not gonna lie, readers, I have been so disappointed in the Thor movies and Thor in the MCU overall that me going into Ragnarok, I went in with no expectations at all. I'm just going to keep it the absolute realist with you. And even going into the movie with no expectations of all, despite having some stuff from the first Thor movie and over the course of the MCU that we've been introduced to retconned a bit, I kinda enjoyed it for what it was. Like last year's Doctor Strange, the changes from the source material over to the MCU were minimal, but if you read comics, you can definitely tell what they were. Whether or not I think these changes are a good thing, in one way, I think they're kind of a good thing because of the current situation of the MCU and them not willing to take that many risks. On the other hand, if you kept it pretty much the same, you could have done a lot more with the characters that you've already established in the MCU and had the opportunity to give different takes on them, especially since actor contracts are about to expire anyway. Either way, the changes that they made in order to make the story work for everybody just pretty much helped establish to me that Marvel Studios will always play it safe. It will always play it safe, no matter the content, no matter the inspiration, no matter the source material. They will pretty much always play it safe unless it's like on Netflix or Hulu or something. As far as whether or not I thought the story was solid, I thought it was a story. And while I definitely disagree with half of the things that the movie did with the plot and the use of its characters, in which I will definitely talk about in this review, do not worry, I was definitely glad that they did properly show progression with Thor, first and foremost, and Loki being second. Speaking of which, let's talk about the characters I thought stood out to me the most, starting with Thor. I am glad that Thor is not as dumb as he used to be. He's still dumb though, but not as dumb. And at this point, I'll take that. I'll take it, sure. I say that because there are definitely points in the movie in which he's the confident, cocky Thor that he's supposed to be, versus the let's make Thor do a knucklehead thing so the audience can laugh version of Thor we received over the past 9 years. But honestly, all the moments in which he has to properly dig deep and persevere in order to get through a situation are the best parts of his performances in this movie. I just wish there was more of that over the course of the MCU, and especially in his solo films. Loki was Loki. What? He's the only character in Thor's mythos next to Odin from the first movie that's been properly represented in the MCU. I don't know what else you want from me. Although I will admit that they definitely did a better job in the brotherly bonding bits in Thor Ragnarok than they did in Thor the Dark World. That's not saying a lot, because Thor the Dark World was chicken shit, but it was good. And then we have Valkyrie, who I just thought was pretty fun. She's kind of like how The Rock was in the WWE. Every time she shares screen time with either Thor or Loki, she makes them look better. I also thought that they did a good job explaining her backstory without, slowing the pacing of the movie down. Hela wasn't treated like Malekith, but they could have still done better. There were Ronan the Accuser moments, definitely, but trust me, it wasn't enough to make her character weak narrative-wise. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that it was Cate Blanchett playing her. Because it's Cate Blanchett. The next character I want to talk about is actually the transition point and the things that I disliked the most about this movie. Because the Hulk. Now, this isn't me saying there was nothing I liked about Hulk being in this movie. I was not expecting that ass shot at all, and I was incredibly thankful. I just don't think the Hulk needed to be in this. Outside of fighting Thor in the arena and part of the third act fight, along with fish out of water laughs as Bruce, he brought no sustenance to the movie. Like, I know they wanted to work around the fact that Universal won't let him do a solo movie, so they had to put him in somewhere other than the Avengers in order to make the best use of his character. But given how he doesn't add anything to the story outside of just being the Hulk, he's just basically there to sell action figures. Honestly, they could have substituted the entire Planet Hulk narrative of the story in order to properly introduce another character from Thor's side of the Marvel Universe. I don't know, kind of like Beta Ray Bill! I'm still upset. No, but seriously, even if you kept the same narrative in order to like build up like a Planet Hulk prequel to let you know that this could still possibly happen, but with Hulk, it would have still fit the narrative given what the plot points they introduce over the course of the movie are. Also, the entire prologue with Surtur, it was just an entire cringe fest. Like, you can just tell that the entire dialogue between Thor and Surtur was just put in just because, aha! Jokes! We need jokes! Because Guardians of the Galaxy was great with jokes, and Joss Whedon established jokes work for everything. Jokes on jokes on jokes on jokes. Ugh. With that being said, I also didn't appreciate the fact that they used Surtur as a plot device either. Especially since the comic creator that proved to be the main inspiration for this script and for this screenplay and for this movie is Walter Simonson, the creator of Beta Ray Bill. I told you, I'm still upset. So here's the answer to the question you've been waiting for. Do I think Thor Ragnarok is good? No. I just think it's okay. While I'm definitely glad there are moments that worked and did a better job at giving more respect to his aspect of the MCU, I felt that it relied too much on trying to relive Age of Ultron nostalgia and trying to be more like Guardians of the Galaxy, instead of, being Thor. Like Thor 1, there are both good and bad parts, but at least the bad parts in Thor Ragnarok are tolerable. Look, I've accepted the fact that I'm never going to get my Winter Soldier level serious God Butcher God Bomb Thor movie, so this, for what it is fine. Thor Ragnarok is fine. Go see it in theaters. Pay whatever you want for a ticket. And if anything, the Blu-ray will probably be worth it for the behind-the-scenes value if you don't have OCD and have to own every single MCU movie on Blu-ray like me. So with that, readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below what you thought of Thor Ragnarok if you've seen it. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.